Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans. Welcome to Rangers Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and let's strengthen our community. Now, let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. WATP, let's get to the news. The atmosphere around Rangers has suddenly turned thick with tension, the kind that you can almost feel pressing against your chest as whispers begin to circulate through the corridors of Ibrox. Supporters, pundits, and even those loosely connected to the club are all leaning in, trying to catch the next fragment of a story that seems to be growing with every passing hour. At the center of it all stands Nicholas Rascin, a player who, not long ago, was seen as one of the pillars for the club's future. Now, however, murmurs suggest something far more unsettling. The word drifting through the rumor mill is that Rangers are preparing to make a heavy decision, one that could shake the dressing room to its core. The idea of letting Rascin go has not been officially confirmed in any celebratory or strategic tone. Instead, it feels like a reluctant step, as though something behind the scenes has forced the club's hand. Within the squad, there is said to be a sense of disbelief, with players struggling to process how quickly things may be changing. For fans, it feels like the ground is shifting beneath their feet, as a once stable narrative begins to unravel into uncertainty and speculation. Inside the dressing room, the reported reaction has been nothing short of shock, with several players allegedly caught off guard by the possibility of Raskin's departure. This is not merely about losing a teammate. It is about the disruption of a carefully balanced dynamic that has taken time to build. Rascin is believed to be more than just a midfielder within the squad. He represents energy, intensity, and a certain connection between defense and attack that is not easily replaced. Those close to the situation suggest that conversations have taken on a more serious tone, with quiet discussions happening behind closed doors as individuals try to make sense of what lies ahead. Some players are thought to be questioning the direction in which the club is heading, wondering whether this move signals a broader shift in strategy. The coaching staff, meanwhile, are said to be maintaining a composed exterior, but even there, whispers hint at unease. It is the kind of situation where uncertainty spreads quickly, feeding off itself and growing into something much larger than a simple transfer story. The sense that something significant is about to happen hangs heavily in the air, leaving everyone waiting for clarity that has yet to arrive. What makes this rumor even more intriguing is the timing, which many believe adds another layer of complexity to an already delicate situation. Rangers have been working to establish consistency and build momentum, yet this potential decision threatens to disrupt that progress in a dramatic fashion. Raskin's presence in midfield has often been associated with control and resilience, qualities that are not easily replaced, particularly in high-pressure environments. The idea of parting ways with such a player raises questions about the motivations behind the scenes. Some speculate that financial considerations could be playing a role, suggesting that the club might be looking to capitalize on Raskin's market value. Others hint at possible internal factors, ranging from tactical disagreements to broader long-term planning. Whatever the truth may be, the lack of clear information has only fueled further speculation. Fans have begun to dissect every small detail, analyzing recent performances, body language, and even subtle interactions for clues. It has become a story that extends beyond the pitch, touching on the identity of the club and the direction it intends to take in the coming period. As the rumor continues to gain traction, attention has also turned towards how such a move could impact the wider squad structure. Rascin is not an isolated figure within the team. His role is deeply intertwined with the performances of those around him. Removing him from the equation would inevitably create a ripple effect, forcing adjustments that could take time to settle. There is talk that certain players might need to adopt new responsibilities, stepping into roles that do not come naturally to them. This kind of transition is rarely seamless, and the uncertainty surrounding it only adds to the sense of unease. Some insiders suggest that the coaching staff have already begun exploring alternative setups, quietly preparing for a scenario in which Rascin is no longer part of the picture. However, such preparations are said to be cautious and discreet, reflecting the sensitive nature of the situation. The club appears to be walking a fine line, balancing the need to plan ahead with the desire to maintain stability in the present. It is a delicate dance, one that could have significant consequences depending on how events ultimately unfold. Among the supporters, reactions have been mixed, with a blend of disbelief, frustration, and cautious curiosity emerging as the dominant themes. For many, Rascin represents a connection to a vision of the club that prioritizes youth, development, and long-term growth. The thought of losing him feels like a step away from that vision, prompting questions about what comes next. Social conversations have become increasingly animated, with fans debating the potential benefits and drawbacks of such a move. Some argue that no player is indispensable and that the club must remain adaptable in a constantly evolving football landscape. Others, however, see this as a risky gamble, one that could undermine the progress made in recent times. The emotional investment in Raskin's journey adds another layer to the debate, making it more than just a strategic discussion. It becomes a reflection of identity, ambition, and the values that supporters believe should define the club. In this sense, the rumor has taken on a life of its own, extending far beyond the initial suggestion of a possible transfer. Meanwhile, the silence from official channels has only intensified the speculation, creating a vacuum that is quickly filled by theories and interpretations. In situations like this, every small detail becomes significant, every absence or presence subject to scrutiny. Observers have noted subtle changes in tone during public appearances, reading into gestures and expressions as though they might reveal hidden truths. It is a reminder of how quickly narratives can evolve in the modern football landscape, driven by a constant flow of information and the desire for answers. The story of Raskin's potential departure has become a focal point, drawing attention from across the football community. It is no longer just about one player or one club. It is about the broader themes of change, uncertainty, and the pressures that shape decisions at the highest level. As the situation continues to develop, the sense of anticipation grows, leaving everyone wondering what the next chapter will bring and how it will reshape the path ahead for Rangers. The second wave of speculation has begun to introduce even more dramatic possibilities, with some voices suggesting that the decision to sell Nicholas Raskin might already be further along than initially believed. There is a growing sense that negotiations, or at least preliminary discussions, could be quietly taking place behind the scenes, far from the public eye. This idea has only deepened the feeling of shock among those connected to the club, as it implies a level of progression that leaves little room for reversal. Within the squad, the emotional impact is said to be intensifying, with players reportedly grappling with the uncertainty of what such a move would mean for their own roles and the collective ambition of the team. It is not uncommon for transfer rumors to create ripples, but this feels different, heavier, as though it carries implications that go beyond the immediate. The suggestion that a key figure could be on the verge of departure has introduced a layer of tension that is difficult to ignore, affecting not only preparation but also the overall atmosphere within the club. There is also a growing belief that external interest in Raskin has played a significant role in shaping this situation, with several clubs reportedly monitoring his development and recognizing his potential value. This external attention, while flattering, often brings with it a set of challenges that can be difficult to manage. For Rangers, the prospect of receiving substantial offers may present an opportunity that is hard to dismiss, particularly in a football environment where financial considerations often carry considerable weight. However, the decision to act on such interest is rarely straightforward, especially when it involves a player who has become an integral part of the team's structure. The tension between short-term gain and long-term stability is said to be at the heart of the current dilemma. Those close to the club suggest that this internal debate has been ongoing, with different perspectives clashing as the leadership attempts to determine the best course of action. It is a scenario that highlights the complexity of modern football decision-making, where every choice carries both potential rewards and significant risks. As the narrative continues to unfold, attention has increasingly turned towards how Raskin himself might be responding to the situation. While there has been no clear public indication of his stance, speculation suggests that he is acutely aware of the growing noise surrounding his future. For a player in his position, such uncertainty can be both motivating and unsettling, creating a delicate balance between focus and distraction. Some believe that he may see this as an opportunity to take the next step in his career, embracing the possibility of a new challenge. Others, however, argue that his connection to Rangers and his role within the team could make the decision far more complicated. The human element of the story adds depth to the speculation, reminding everyone that behind the headlines and rumors lies an individual navigating a highly personal situation. This perspective has resonated with supporters, many of whom feel a sense of empathy even as they debate the potential outcomes. Within the tactical framework of the team, the potential departure of Rascin has sparked discussions about how Rangers might adapt to such a significant change. Analysts and observers have begun to explore various scenarios, considering different formations and player combinations that could fill the void. It is a process that underscores the importance of adaptability in football, where change is often inevitable and success depends on the ability to respond effectively. However, the challenge lies in maintaining balance, ensuring that any adjustments do not compromise the overall cohesion of the team. The uncertainty surrounding Raskin's future has made this task even more complex, as it requires planning for multiple possibilities simultaneously. Those involved in the decision-making process are said to be approaching the situation with caution, aware of the potential consequences of getting it wrong. It is a high-stakes environment, where every detail matters and the margin for error is minimal. Among the fan base, the ongoing speculation has begun to take on an almost narrative quality, with different interpretations and theories emerging as people attempt to make sense of the situation. Some view the potential sale as a necessary step in the evolution of the club, a move that could unlock new opportunities and resources. Others see it as a troubling sign, indicative of deeper issues that may not yet be fully understood. This divergence of opinion reflects the complexity of the situation, highlighting the different ways in which supporters engage with the club and its decisions. The emotional investment in the story has made it a central topic of conversation, dominating discussions and shaping perceptions of the current moment. It is a reminder of how deeply football is intertwined with identity and community, transforming what might otherwise be a straightforward business decision into something far more significant. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. As the rumor continues to build towards what feels like an inevitable turning point, the sense of anticipation has reached an almost unbearable level. Everyone connected to Rangers, from players to supporters to those observing from a distance, is waiting for clarity, for a definitive statement that will either confirm or dispel the growing speculation. Until that moment arrives, the story of Nicholas Raskin's potential departure will continue to evolve, shaped by whispers, interpretations, and the ever-present desire for answers. It is a situation that encapsulates the drama and unpredictability of football, where certainty is often elusive and the line between reality and speculation can become blurred. Whatever the outcome may be, it is clear that this moment has already left a mark, creating a sense of unease and intrigue that will not easily fade. And just when it seemed like the storm could not grow any stronger, new whispers began to surface suggesting that the internal reaction at Rangers might be even more intense than previously imagined. There are quiet suggestions that certain senior figures within the squad have not taken this potential decision lightly at all, viewing it as a signal that something deeper could be shifting behind the scenes. The idea that Nicholas Raskin could be allowed to leave has reportedly triggered private conversations filled with concern, not just about his absence, but about what it represents in a broader sense. For some, it is not merely about losing a talented midfielder, but about the possible breaking of a project that many believed was still in the process of being carefully built. These murmurs paint a picture of a dressing room wrestling with uncertainty, where trust and direction are subtly being questioned. Even those who try to remain focused on their own performances cannot completely ignore the weight of such speculation. It hangs in the air, influencing moods, shaping interactions, and creating an atmosphere where every small detail feels amplified. The sense that something significant is unfolding continues to grow, leaving many to wonder whether this is just the beginning of a much larger transformation. At the same time, there is a feeling among observers that this situation could quickly escalate into a defining moment for Rangers as a whole, one that might be looked back upon as a turning point regardless of the final outcome. The potential departure of Rascin has evolved into more than just a transfer rumor. It has become a symbol of uncertainty, ambition, and the difficult choices that clubs must face in the modern game. Some voices suggest that if the move does go through, it could open the door to further changes, creating a domino effect that reshapes the squad in unexpected ways. Others believe that pulling back from the decision could be equally impactful, reinforcing a commitment to stability and long-term vision. Either path carries its own risks and possibilities, making the current moment feel incredibly delicate. As the speculation continues to swirl, one thing remains clear. The story has captured attention in a way that goes far beyond the usual transfer chatter. It has become a narrative filled with tension, emotion, and unanswered questions, leaving everyone watching closely, waiting to see which direction Rangers will ultimately choose to take. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.